And all personnel, we are going to pick up the clock here momentarily. GLS, you can resume the clock on your mark. Copy that.
Mike Leinbach is the launch director.
2, 1.
Here we go. We're counting. Counting again.
Sequence start.
Handoff to Atlantis' computers has occurred.
Here's George
rocket
Dillon.
booster nozzle steering check and work.
20.
Firing chain is armed.
15.
Go for main engine start. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. The final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
Roger roll, Atlantis.
Houston now
She's climbing beautifully here. Everything is on course. She's climbing beautifully. Here is Rob Navius in mission control.
24 seconds into the flight. Roll program complete. Atlantis now heads down, wings level on the proper alignment for its 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the International Space Station. 40 seconds in.
This onboard camera.
3 liquid fuel main engines throttling back to 72% of rated performance in the bucket, reducing stress on the shuttle as it goes transonic for the final time.
Everything
Engines
running perfectly.
Standing by for the throttle up call.
She's programmed over everything. She's headed up the eastern seaboard. Stand by, Daytona Beach. Here comes the farewell flight of Atlantis.
Atlantis, go at throttle up, no action, DP-DT. Go at throttle up, no action on DP-DT.
The call from Capcom Barry Wilmore.
Our colleague Jim Oberg.
Instrumentation only, no action required.
Jim Oberg in mission control reporting. She's now 46 miles off Daytona, 17 miles high.
16 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 1 minute 40 seconds into the flight. Atlantis flexing its muscles one final time. Atlantis traveling almost 2,600 miles an hour, 21 miles in altitude, 24 miles downrange, standing by for solid rocket booster separation.
This picture is from a camera on board the external fuel tank. There goes the solids. They are now separating. There they are, following the way.
Confirms
You can see
staging
them.
of good solid rocket booster separation. Guidance now converging. The main engine steering the shuttle on a pinpoint path to its preliminary orbit. 2 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. Atlantis already traveling 3,200 miles an hour, 35 miles in altitude, 50 miles downrange. The
Just past Daytona Beach.
Orbital maneuvering system engines have ignited. Atlantis kicking on its afterburners for 1 minute, 23 seconds for the final phase of powered flight.
Atlantis, 2-engine towel.
That means they could get across the Atlantic with 2 engines instead of the 3 they have on board. Everything perfect now as Atlantis climbs into orbit for the final mission of the space shuttle. Everything right on target. You are looking at a picture of Atlantis from a camera underneath the belly of the spacecraft attached to the external fuel tank. It will take 8 minutes and 24 seconds for it to get into space. It's riding now. Everything is going perfectly. We seem to have lost the transmission from mission control by Rob Navius. Don't know what's happened here, but we will stay with it, keep you going up. And here we are here. If we pick up, here we go. Here we'll pick up Rob Navius again. All right, everybody, everything is on schedule right here. It should be coming up here shortly to what they call negative return. What that means is that they cannot return here to the Space Center. They would have to fly across the Atlantic Ocean to a landing site in Spain if they had an emergency. Okay, they are now off the coast of Savannah already. They're 172 miles off the coast of Savannah. They're 60 miles high. Everything is going perfectly. I don't know why we've lost communications here with
However,
mission
Atlantis'
control.
3 engines performing perfectly.
And Jay
All right,
Barbary,
we have Rob Navius back.
4 minutes,
Jay
20
Barbary,
seconds
thank
into the
you
flight.
for your call. What a moment to witness at what great speed, and now well on
Atlanta's
its way
currently traveling
into Earth
5,500
orbit.
miles an hour, 62
This is
miles an
for
altitude,
everyone, of
almost
course, who
200 miles
piloted
downrange.
the X1, the X15, guys with names like Crossfield and Yeager, and of course Shepard and Glenn and Grissom and White and Chaffee and
with the International
Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins. The entire manned space program. From here on in, at least for a little while, the Russians will be our ride into space. Hard for a lot of veterans to believe, and the era
Coming up on the 5-minute
commercial
mark.
space flight will now begin. But for now, this
Atlanta's
is
now traveling 6,500 miles an
166
hour,
missions. Again,
66 miles an
hundreds
altitude,
of Americans have hurtled
downrange.
into space. The last of the shuttle missions. This particular shuttle will be on display at the Kennedy Space Center, and tourists for years to come will look at this spacecraft that has flown so many miles in Earth orbit. So, successfully on their way, the last of the space flight missions, the last of the shuttle missions. There have been 135 of them heretofore. We'll have complete coverage tonight on NBC Nightly News, and again, a special tip of the hat to Jay Barbary of our staff, 53 years covering America's manned spaceflight. I'm Brian Williams, NBC News, New York.